Reddit's darkest corners. Let's ride.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I have a lot of announcements, so I'm gonna try to make this very quick.
The
first announcement is 600,000 subscribers. The last video,
this channel's popping off.
500,000. As of filming this video, we're at 622,000 subscribers, and honestly, thank you guys. Thank you to all the newcomers that are coming from Critical's channel. First of all, Charlie, thank you so much. I know I told you thank you in DMs, and by the way, guys, the fact that I spoke to
he's such a
Critical,
sweetheart.
Unironically,
Unironically, he's such a sweetheart.
but I feel like I'm saying something I would like to repeat, so thank you to all the newcomers. Also, there was no cinematic intro for this video because the channel intro editor known as Charge is actually he's actually editing the music video that's gonna be out soon. That's right. Cherry Soda.
He seems like a nice guy. He is.
Single, which I'm sure all of you guys are gonna like, even if you don't listen to Hyperpop. I'm sure you're all gonna like it. That's how confident I am. We do not have an official release date, but the video will premiere here on my channel live. Yes, I'll be in the chat. I'm literally gonna ping everyone on Discord and
fuck man, that horse is really hurt my head.
So it's gonna be a live event. I'm thinking 6 p.m. PST. So convert that over to whatever your time zone you're in. But seriously, it's gonna come out.
You've seen Carl H?
So
yeah.
just keep your eyes open on that.
We
It might
saw
be
that
on
one.
the channel already, just like for the countdown thing. Hey guys, I want to let you guys know that I actually did an interview with Mocknix, and it's so extremely
Thanks, Yusuf Granny.
I love this interview, and it's my first interview ever. So if you guys want to get to know me, make sure to check it out in the link in the description. And here's a little preview of what the interview looks like.
Tough.
It reminds me of Comedy Night.
Guys, Mocknix is pushing P.
Turn off that fucking sign.
All bros, hit me up. Hit me the
Get this man a collab with 100 Gex. Do they still make music?
You could be right there.
100
So,
Gex is Piss
Reddit's
Baby,
darkest
right?
Corners. In this video, we will be covering specific subreddits and users that can be described as strange, disturbing, odd. And I know what you guys are thinking, dude, all of Reddit is disgusting. What are you talking about? I know it is. I know it is. But let's just go even deeper than the surface. This video will be a little.
You don't want to go
you
deeper
guys
than the
over
surface on
the
Reddit.
to help me out on certain topics. I want to give a big shout out to Juno over on the Tub Discord for
Thanks, Yusuf
helping me
Granny
out
and
with this idea.
Hero.
Juno gave me the idea. That's what I'm trying to say. If you guys have video ideas that you want me to cover, make sure to go leave it in the video ideas channel over on the Discord. I'm not gonna lie, literally 9 out of 10 of them are horrible. I go on that channel. Dude, I remember someone requested me to talk about Harry Styles. What do you want me to say? The dark side of Harry Styles. No.
Harry
no.
Styles has probably got
Okay,
some
here's
fucked
my
up
official
shit in his
subreddit. People
past.
say my intros are long. Okay, if they're long, literally skip to where the video starts. That's why I leave chapters in my videos, okay? So,
Does he?
skip, I don't care. Anyway, let's get started with it.
That's cute.
r/Jizzy Cards.
Jizzy Cards.
37 members. Oh boy, we're starting off strong with this one. Okay, r/Jizzy Cards. If you had to take a guess of what that even meant, go ahead, take a guess.
Alright, I bet I can nail this. I would imagine it's people doing cum tributes on old video game cartridges. I would say it's people that I love Ocarina of Time so much, here's the N64 cartridge. Just fucking blast it. That would be my guess.
certain you wouldn't have guessed men ejaculating onto video game cartridges and
But I did. I fucking did.
discs for fun. Yeah.
Yep,
pretty
but I
nice.
did.
There's only-
I know these communities so fucking well. I've never heard of Jizzy Carts. I know this shit so well. Because there's other communities like this. Like I mentioned cum tributes. This is huge for figurines. It's like U2's. U2's has their own cum tribute community where people will get U2's of their favorite YouTuber or whatever and they'll literally just cum on it. They'll put it in jars and shit. Yeah, it's huge. It's fucking huge. So I knew right away Jizzy Carts had to be video game related. I bet most people go to shopping carts or something of cum, but I fucking knew. I knew exactly where this was gonna go. Thanks to the anonymous 5 gift subs, man. And the 10 gift subs, huge ass Marcus. You guys like mods at Jizzy Carts or something? Yeah, hey, fuck yeah. Keep up the good work. And thank you for the generosity.
15 posts, and the subreddit was created in 2012. The most recent image was posted 3 years ago. It's safe to say that this subreddit is dead. The images consisted of 3 different accounts, but who's to say it wasn't just one person with 2 other alt accounts? The comments mainly consist of people questioning the existence of the subreddit and, requests? The main user posting these images go
Oh, I want to read the request. What did he want? If it wasn't Donkey Kong 64, they fucked up. That's a cool cartridge. Oh, better yet, Majora's Mask. That had the holographic. Good to see a rareware game being humiliated like this. I would shoot a load on Conker's Bad Fur Day, but I'm low on money at the moment. It costs nothing to ejaculate. Unless you have to put like a quarter in like a jar at your house, like for every time you sin. I don't know what you mean. I guess like he has to buy the game.
The main user posting these images goes by ISVP7, and by clicking on this account, we can see he's still active. By the way, just by browsing this account, I got like 5 other strange subreddits that are in this video, so shout out to ISVP7. User snapped fingers. All credit to Eudoxia Mystery's video on this. He made a 25-minute detailed
Thanks
video.
a bit soulless in the prime Skelly.
He's almost at 100,000 subscribers, and honestly, he deserves a lot more. So make sure to subscribe to Eudoxia Mysteries. Anyway, this is a case of a missing or dead Redditor. I obviously can't cover everything in this video because I'm covering these things in a very broad manner just because it's a list video. This story begins with the user claiming that they can see things that aren't actually there, like paranormal things, and that they were told by experts on Discord that they have to make a sacrifice.
Experts on Discord, huh?
In order for the interdimensional beings to leave them alone. Discord experts? Like...
That's what I said.
The things they describe.
That's definitely a red flag.
Dark figures of humans, adults, and children, spiders, snakes, and more. They also explain that they are against medication and refuse to see a doctor. This story is very similar to that of Worthless 319, which we already covered on the channel, so make sure to watch that after this video. Eventually,
Worthless 319 was the video we watched. It's about the Redditor who claimed he blew his cock off to save the world with a gun. I'm pretty sure it was all a hoax. I looked into it further after the stream. I'm almost 100% sure that was all just a big, like, ooh, so edgy kind of thing. The pictures weren't even of, like, a dick that had been shot by a gun. It was just more of, like, a really deformed, weird wiener. I don't know how to describe it. But yeah, that was definitely not like a real thing. But the penectomy shit is real. There are people that do actually cut their cocks and all of that, but it wasn't that Redditor doing it.
Snapped Fingers questions the reality of there being a hell portal in the Paris catacombs and explains that they're booking a flight to put an end to this. What are the Paris catacombs though? During the Gallo-Roman period, many cemeteries within the city limits had become filled to overflowing, resulting in unsanitary and unpleasant living conditions. The problem grew so much that by 1786, these cemeteries were being emptied for reasons of public safety, with the remains of about 6 million bodies requiring to be reburied. The only location with sufficient room to hold them were all the former mine tunnels 20 meters beneath the city. Thus, the former limestone mine.
Someone got lost in the Paris catacombs and died.
As the catacombs. So yeah, it's a
I think there's like a YouTube video about it.
Actually, go visit. Some of it is open to the public. You just gotta pay. So back to Snapped Fingers. Their last post on the account, which was 2 years ago, reads, "We'll be entering the catacombs in a few hours-ish," with another comment under it reading, "Also, I am very fast. I used to run track back when I was in junior high school. I can likely outrun any possessed people. I am excited to finally close this chapter of my life and shut that blasted portal off for good." Now, personally, I do think this person was suffering from schizophrenia. Or, I could be completely wrong. This could be someone just looking for attention. The thing with these Redditor stories...
Most likely attention when on Reddit.
We don't know. We don't really know. There is going to be one on the list where we do get an update. But for the most part, these are people that just never signed back into the account. r/coming on figurines. 35.
That's what I was just fucking talking about. This is where they'll do like U2s, Marvel figurines, all kinds of shit. I was just talking about that. Yeah, this one's kind of popular. They go kind of wild.
0.9 thousand members. I mean, pretty self-explainable. It's always been a thing to nut on figurines. I can't even say that one. Wow. It's always been a thing to nut on figurines, especially in jars. Shout out to that.
Yeah.
Shout out to the My Little Pony jar. No idea why, but something interesting I found
back
about
in the
this
Brony
subreddit
era.
Is that the owner
God
has
rest
a
their
Patreon
soul.
where you can enter for, quote, figurine giveaways. Yeah. There's 28 patrons paying monthly to get exclusive pictures and videos of a man nutting on anime figurines.
Yo, he's probably got a great collection.
Wow. Honestly, I just want to get all through
They're probably not there for the nut or for the collection.
Let's go over to the next one. r/inbreeding, 25.5 thousand members. And just fucking your family isn't enough.
Okay.
Their description reads, subreddit for posts about adult inbreeding, real or fantasy, porn or stories, AMA questions and answers.
Jesus Christ.
It's inbreeding related.
This is tier 1 plate
Personal
safe.
experiences are encouraged and supported. The post consists of a lot of people's stories, and honestly, I can't tell if they're real or just fantasy. When loading up the subreddit, we can see that this community is quarantined. When a subreddit is quarantined, it means that it's dedicated to shocking or highly offensive content, and you must be logged in order to access it. So basically like a shadow ban. And here's a strange comment I found. Well, the whole subreddit is more than strange, but again, I don't know if these people are telling the truth or just having some crazy cheesy fantasy roleplay. Congrats, that's awesome. My mom and I are currently both pregnant with my dad's babies, and that's awesome. Here's another comment that I found, and it comes
Probably
from the
not real.
perspective of a daughter that's dating her father. My current status is mostly a girlfriend, but he still sees me as a daughter often. I'll get scolded if I'm not careful enough, and sometimes that's a turnoff for me. Lol. Rarely he uses the phrase, because I'm your father, Christy, and we end up fighting. Fortunately for me, he's very sweet and caring, and he knows me very well, and he even hates the thought of hurting me, so he always makes up with me the same day.
All right.
Cum tagging, 2,000 members. But yeah, this one's just the guys splurging on objects. Men splurging on objects. I mean, that's it. There's nothing more to explain to that. We have public trash cans, airport toilet paper holders, campus bathrooms.
I actually...
Yeah.
So, I don't know about cum tagging, but I do know there was a... I don't want to give too much away about the guy. I've talked about it before. We've talked about it before on the podcast. We used to have this thing where we talk to people from the Patreon podcast, and one of the people that was a regular is a U.S. soldier, and he was on a submarine. He was on one of the nuclear subs. So in between his tours, he'd come on to the hangout with us, and he'd always tell us the stories about like the people on the subs to pass time will literally just like come on things in the sub. I don't know how real that is, or if it was just like his degenerate crew or whatever, but it's apparently like super common, at least on that vessel, because he would talk about it like pretty much every time he came back. Do we have any other like submarine boys in here that can confirm or deny? What episode? No, it was like just hangouts where we just talked to people. It was a while ago. We haven't done that in a couple of years now. Thanks, the resub Chewy. I heard living on those is fucking horrible. Oh, it sounds absolutely miserable. Yeah, it sounds true. I can't imagine a worse career than being on a submarine. You can't leave it. You're confined to such tight space, and apparently all your friends are just ejaculating on everything. Sounds terrible. My dad was on one, but I'm not going to ask him. Why? They hit him with that, hey, Pop, you ever come on the sub? Thanks to the resub, Turbo. Sounds like the average frat house. Well, the way he described it sounded like everything a frat, like the worst parts of a frat house at the worst possible place. Seemed miserable. But yeah, apparently that's pretty common there. According to one guy that we talked to. That was the only guy we knew like that ever worked on subs. All the other veterans were usually in like, I don't know, like the Marines or something, sometimes Air Force.
Just continuing the list of wholesome subreddits on this list. Ew. That's so gross. Women hating subreddits.
I used to give some cheese.
It's not women hating the subreddits, but it's women hate. Men that hate women. I found a lot of subreddits that are now archived. They don't exist anymore, right? But we have r/beating women. We have r/r-wording women.
Jesus Christ.
Hate women. We have r/just r-word. I'm not gonna go through what. I mean, you guys can imagine.
Yeah, I can pretty much take a guess.
I hate them. I want to do this to them. I want to R-word. I found an archive of the R-wording women one. I mean, just look at the suggestions.
Oh my god, what the fuck is this? There's a thing on Reddit where like almost every sub has the same moderators. I wonder if they were mods on here. I imagine at least one or two of them were. There's only like 100 mods on all of Reddit, and they happen to mod every other subreddit on that fucking site. Like, there's some mods that are literally a power mod of 100 other different subreddits.
Like, Reddit was a crazy place back then, and still is, but it was just a lot less monitored. r/iBletch, 228,000 members. iBletch is one of the more popular ones on this subreddit, especially if you're into gore and just disturbing things in general. I wouldn't use the word mainstream because we're going to talk about another subreddit that has like millions of members, but definitely more popular. It's ironic that this is one of the more popular ones because you can argue it has the worst stuff imaginable. r/iBletch became one of the main subreddits to visit for gore, especially when r/gore and r/watch people die.
Oh, I actually remember when they did that.
Why isn't this one taken down? According to some users, this subreddit is completely banned in some countries. However, I do not know which ones. Yeah, I have nothing more to add to this. I don't know what else to say about it. It's pretty gross though, so, you know, a little warning if you guys want to head over there.
Was that first one
r/sink
Tub Girl? I didn't read it.
pissers gone wild. 1.2 thousand members. We fuck shit up. This community is for the dedicated sink pissers who want to take their game to the next level.
Fuck yeah,
Created in
finally.
2019. This is a subreddit dedicated to people peeing in sinks.
Finally,
Asking
my kind of
why
people.
is pointless at this point. We're
My
talking
brethren.
about Reddit. Peeing in your sink, weird, but okay. I mean, you're not harming anyone, right? But these people go out of their way to sometimes pee in public sinks or their friends' bathrooms. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
get
a thing
pranked.
to walk into your local retail store or a neighbor's house, a friend's house, walk into the bathroom and record yourself peeing in their sink, hoping that no one walks in, with captions like, fuck it, not my sink, cleaning out the neighbor's sink, and always better in a public sink. I think it's safe to say that the members of this server are not in the right headspace. And I'm sure some of them are gonna watch this. My videos get very popular now, and if I'm offending any of you, I'm sorry. I don't want any of you to fucking pull up to my house and start peeing in my sink.
True, you don't want to
Please do
fuck with
what
the
I want.
sink
It's not like I have a
pissers.
piss kink or anything. I don't. I mean, imagine going to a friend's house and then thinking, oh boy, I can't wait to take a piss in their sink and record it for
I'm sure everyone's pissed in a sink at least once in their life. Like, let's not mince
Make
words.
sure to leave a like, and if you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe.
We've all been 2 or 3
User
Bud Lights deep,
Condor_salesman.
19 years old,
An
and
extremely sad story.
It's
of
a little
Redditor's
wacky.
Last words. His account has since been deleted, but I'll be using screenshots that I found from a YouTube video, so all my sources will be linked down in the description. This user would make extremely depressing posts on multiple subreddits. I'll read some so
Please
you guys
give
get the
some,
idea
Josie.
of what this person was
And
battling.
lukewarm.
I'm just struggling to understand the meaning behind enjoying life. If it's just gonna end at some point, either abruptly with no warning young, or slowly and humiliatingly with old age. What is a hug supposed to feel like? I'm genuinely considering just for the small chance that it will allow me to start life over. Further on, he goes to explain that he has a facial deformity due to his mother smoking while he was in her stomach, so while she was pregnant. He describes regretting pursuing engineering and is really going to go through with taking his own life. Then we get this
Yeah,
one.
that's sad.
I lose. I am 25 years old. I have a degree. I have been actively searching for a job for half a year now, getting absolutely nowhere. I am a virgin despite efforts to not be one. I am poor. I live in the cheapest student dormitory in the city. All my flatmates are filthy and I don't feel comfortable in my own home. I may get kicked out any day at short notice once they discover I'm not
Aw.
a student anymore. I have no friends. My family has excommunicated me. I am born with a malformed face. This isn't exaggeration or drama. My medical records describe me as malformed. I am
No, this one's just
objectively
sad.
hideous and will never be looked at with affection. I am r/oh come on 63.1 thousand members. 63.1 thousand, that's actually a lot. There's a lot of humans that have joined this subreddit. They describe themselves as a place to challenge others to come in unusual places, ways, and circumstances. You know what, I'm not gonna describe any, I'm gonna describe one. Sorry guys. This one is, it's called the Oreo video.
I've
This
never
is
heard of
something
Come
that is
On.
gonna be stuck in my brain forever, and it's even hard to repeat what happened, but I'm gonna do it for you guys. One, because it's funny. 2, that's it. It's just funny. So there's this video where this guy, I'm gonna use the word splurge, okay? I'm not gonna, yeah. So this guy, you know, Oreo,
The word
like
is
white
usually
stuff in the middle,
splooge. Is
right?
splurge the new
this
one?
This guy, like, takes off the cream, right? And then splurges where the cream should be, puts the fucking Oreo on top, you know, makes the cookie again with the splurge, like, leaking out and shit, and fucking eats it on video, dude.
Yeah, that's
Well,
hardcore.
He doesn't eat it on video, but, like, you could tell, he's
That's
munching on it, right?
that's
It's
Chris
just
Chan
like-
shit.
And I already know some of you guys are gonna
That's
look it
gourmet.
up. If you guys watch my channel, I know you guys are gonna go look it up. At least give me the watch time. Like always, give me the watch time and then go give yourself a little bit of trauma. That one's called the Oreo video. Not officially named that, but I'm naming it the Oreo video. This video is brought to you by Manscaped.com. Feeling your best starts with
Manscaped does slap. Agreed.
r/just no, MIL. 1.8 million
Whoa.
members. MIL means mother-in-law. This subreddit is dedicated to people venting about their horrible mothers and mother-in-laws. I'm gonna read you guys a story that pissed me off and I'm sure will enrage any normal human being. When my twin girls were born, we had no issues in the hospital. They were born right on their due date, latched perfectly, and passed all their postnatal tests with stellar stats.
Nice.
When we brought them home, however, we noticed that one of the girls, let's call her OD, since she was a whole 4.5 minutes older than her sister, was developing a rash. I hadn't really dealt with allergies in kids since my son didn't have them, and neither did any child or adult in my entire family. I wasn't sure what it was. I thought that maybe she just had sensitive skin like me. I can't tolerate certain fabrics because I have very dry skin and I'll often break out in rashes if my skin decides that it doesn't like something. So I stopped using fabric softener on all the clothes. I bought the nicest, most comfortable bedding and clothes. At one point, I even made her clothes myself in the fear that maybe something in the manufacturing process was upsetting my OD. We went to the doctor several times, and they knew that she was having an allergic reaction to something. but every test came back negative and we couldn't
Oh, and it
figure
turned out
what
the
it
mother-in-law was
It
doing
took
some
3
crazy
more
shit.
months to figure it out. During that time, her allergic reactions got more and more severe. At one point, she was the only baby in the history of the hospital who had to be kept in a clean room because she seemed to have a reaction the minute she left. When that happened, we began to have elimination therapy that would rival the lifestyle of Buddhist monks. My husband and I moved our son NYD in with his parents because we needed to eliminate everything from our routine to figure out what was causing the reaction to our OD. We stopped using our soap, our shampoo, our deodorants, our laundry detergents, and that was before we even got to our diet. It took us 3 more months, but we figured it out. Our OD was allergic to coconut. The doctors told us that it was a particularly rare allergen, and so it wasn't on any of the skin test panels they ran. When we found out what she was allergic to, we were so relieved. So relieved. But in addition to feeling relieved, I delved into a lot of hysterical laughter. I laughed so hard I cried, and to this day, my DH tells me that he didn't know if I was crying from relief or pure happiness. Okay, so like I said, this story is very long, but to summarize it, the baby has an allergic reaction to coconut oil, and now we're being introduced to the mother, right? The mother of the woman. And this
I thought it was gonna be something like the mother-in-law was
allergy serious.
like using bleach on the kid or some shit.
Like, what's gonna happen? So let's skip to where the grandmother is taking care of the baby. My mother had put coconut oil in both my daughter's hairs when they were playing the previous day before bed. The girls loved it when my mom did their hair, and so they asked for braids, and my mom was doing their hair. She put coconut oil in both their hair because it would make for smoother braids. According to my son, OD started to get a little dizzy and itchy when my mom was doing her hair, so my mom gave her some kids Benadryl, which made her sleepy. Since it was close to bedtime anyways, the kids went to bed. Giving her Benadryl was something we did whenever she had a mild reaction, since it usually meant she accidentally came across some coconut from a secondary source. We also showered her head to toe immediately to erase any lingering traces of it. My mother simply gave her some Benadryl and kept the coconut oil in her hair and put her to fucking sleep. The Benadryl made her sleepy and unable to wake up or be conscious enough to wake up her brother or cry. She vomited in her sleep and the rash spread all over. Her little body was swollen to twice the size.
That was sad.
She had asphyxiated in her sleep. She died painfully and slowly in the early hours of the morning. My mother was never arrested. My father did leave her, though they're not officially divorced. The majority of my mother's family refuse to speak to her, and the few that do speak to her only do so on a limited basis. She currently lives on her own in a small town, and every couple months I'll get a call from her telling me how sorry she is and how she just wasn't thinking, and can I please find a way to forgive her. She wants to come see me. The only thing I can find to ever say to her is, you can come see me when you bring my daughter with you. If you guys want to go read it on your own, it's a lot longer than what I just said, and I know what I said.
Man, that's probably one of the most intense ones on that subreddit.
Horrible. That sucks.
The rest is probably like my mother-in-law baked a dry turkey.
That's what ignorance does, man. Let's move on.
Jesus Christ.
R/jailbait. The Urban Dictionary definition.
Oh, that was a big one back in the day.
A female who is under the age of consent.
That shit was
who dresses,
fucked.
acts, and appears as if she is over the age of consent, and who does nothing to correct that impression when she is bedded. Yeah, when I read that, I was like, whoa, what kind of victim blaming, dude? Why are you getting mad at them? Like, nah, I don't want to get off track, but it's just weird when guys are like, yo, you shouldn't dress like that. Too young. It's not even your life. Just fucking move on. Go on Reddit. Actually, that's what they were doing. It was just a place where creeps would talk about underage girls. At the time, Eric Martin,
they used it the front page almost every week,
subreddits, including jailbait, by claiming that it was one of the side effects of promoting free expression on the web. Reddit administrators took down the subreddit after a user shared a picture of an underage teenager, saying that he had nude photos of her as well. And many users were requesting, send me. Yeah, it's just pretty disgusting stuff.
Yeah, he's underselling how popular that was. Back when I first found Reddit, I would have been, a junior in high school? Jailbait was usually on the front page. That was a massive fucking subreddit. What year would that have been? 2011-ish? That was fucking crazy. Yeah, and that was for some reason on Reddit, that was totally normal. And I remember someone made a big hoopla. I don't remember, it might have been our atheism, to be honest, because that was also huge then. Someone made a huge hoopla, why the fuck are we just allowing open pedophiles on the site, super transparent? And they're like, no, jailbait's fine. Jailbait's good for Reddit, actually. And it was a huge controversy when people were like, we need to get jailbait the fuck out of here. But they fought tooth and nail. That was on there for a long time. A really long time, much longer than you'd expect.
Spontaneous H. This is
That's
the story
Twitter now.
of a Redditor who documented
okay, I guess.
in rejecting heroin. I'll read the main posts. I did heroin yesterday. I am not a drug user and have never done anything besides pot back when I was a teen. Ask me anything. This is a little long. I've never been a drug user. I drink once in a while and smoked pot years ago back when I was a teen in high school a few times, and that's it. I'm 24 now, have a master's, and a well-paying
This one's
full-time
fake.
job. Yesterday, I was
Usually
walking
the
through
personal
Washington
stories
Square
are.
Park, where I pass every day, and there are always people looking to sell drugs. Not in the park anymore due to the cameras, but it is well known you can meet a dealer and do the transaction elsewhere these
Thanks,
days.
Reese.
They
Damper
usually
and
don't
Prime
solicit drugs
Sebi.
to you unless you stop to stand around near one of them for some reason or look like you're looking for something. Yesterday, I happened to stop by a row of benches to check some messages on my phone when a dealer on the bench to my right asked me if I need anything. My life has been pretty boring the last few years, and I felt like I haven't really lived, taken any risks, or done anything crazy. So I figured, what the hell? Maybe I'll buy some pot. It's been a while. I said yeah, and after asking me several times if I'm a cop, he gives me his number and tells me to meet him at a fast food place several blocks away, and he will, quote, hook me up.
Sleep
I was
well,
blown away by
man.
the power of this drug and how orgasmic it felt. I never understood why people did drugs before and got so hooked on them, but now I see why. I have the urge to do it again, but I will resist and not do it, at least not for a long time. I understand the addiction potential and how someone could easily tear apart their lives with this stuff. Heroin is pure powdered pleasure. I actually feel proud of myself for having the balls to do something this crazy, and I feel like it was a valuable life experience and my window into another world and part of society. I'll never forget the day I did heroin. Now, ask me anything. 2 weeks ago, I tried heroin once for fun and made an AMA. I have been using since and shot up for the first time today.
No.
AMA. Wednesday night update. Fucking, I'm still withdrawing, throwing up, and sweating out gallons of sweat. I really want to use and relapse right now. I know I shouldn't. These urges are so strong and overpowering.
No shot,
Please
these are
tell
real.
me if you
Nah,
can
I
before
usually
get
don't
chance
believe
to
the
fuck my life.
personal
I wish I was
ones.
trolling and this was some elaborate lie. I was doing everything right, have been clean, and somehow a rumor got out that I've been using, and my girlfriend found out. She basically broke up with me last night, but is now putting that decision on hold. I have some serious unrelated business/work I need to attend to in 2 hours, and I don't know if I'll be in any state to be able to be ready. I can't stop crying. Fuck heroin. Fuck my life. I guess I don't need to say that since heroin pretty much fucked my life for me in under 2 weeks. I just want to die. I am a patient in a psychiatric hospital. I was also technically dead last week. Ask me anything. Well, you guys will be
Thanks,
happy to
Resub
know
Twista.
that this person is actually still alive. Even though this all happened about 12 years ago, this user actually came back 4 months ago with an update. It's been a while. This is not an AMA or anything exciting, really. I saw a disturbing and sad post about an opiate overdose on
Easy tier
Cr1tikal
one slang.
and was reminded to try to
Is it
log
totally
in
fake?
and
Yeah,
check this. I guess
probably.
it's been over 3 years since I checked this or posted anything. I find this Reddit account pretty overwhelming. I'm just posting to let people know that I'm still alive, clean, and doing well. Thanks to everyone who reached out in messages checking in over the past few years, and sorry if I can't get back to you. Here's another comment with more details where he responded to another user. It has been coming up on almost 11 years since I have used heroin, any hard
Thanks,
drugs,
Resub
or
Nathan.
alcohol. That was November 2010. A few years ago, I had a slip and just smoked weed, which is a bad mistake, so I consider my current total clean time 3 years since I count that. Nice. We actually had a happy ending to this one. Love that. Love that he's still okay, doing just fine. It's kind of crazy to just be like, hey yo, let me just shoot up some heroin. Fuck
Is it
it.
tier one
My life
gifted?
kind of boring. Oh, should I document my experience doing that? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Yeah, no. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. Don't click off yet. Don't click off yet.
I knew
wanna say
almost all of
something. In
those.
the community tab, when I was telling you guys to leave requests for
Nice.
video ideas, right? Or like Reddit ideas for this one. People were saying that I
He didn't
just,
even
like,
cover
steal
True
video
Cells, which
idea
is
topics,
surprising.
and I just cover them in a mediocre way. Which
Do you guys remember True Cells? That was a little bit before the big incel explosion. There's the Prime Grant. Wow, most people don't seem to remember it. True Cells was basically they were the progenitor to modern incels. They had a lot of very sad dudes that would post shit like women should be kept on farms and men should be allowed to buy women to fuck them. Like really horrible stuff, like incel shit, before it became mainstream. That one was pretty wild. They had like full websites full of like hundreds of pages where people would like write some real gross shit and their weird view on the world. Pre or post Elliot Rogers? Fuck, I'd have to really think. I'm not sure. I think it was post because I vaguely remember that one of the websites had Elliot Rogers like their poster child. So I'm thinking it was post Elliot Rogers. Yeah, it was fucked. I feel like there were some other ones that weren't covered, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. True Cells is just one that I always remembered. Why do people go so feral for sex? I don't know, man. Just some fucking weirdos out there. Just as simple as that.